What's up guys, I'm Kel, Red Zone Rogue, and welcome to the second episode of the Grimm Alice Showdown. So this is a weekly Force of Will show where I crack into one pack of every single set from the Grimm Cluster and the Alice Cluster, and then we determine what the best card is in each pack, and determine what the best card is overall to determine who wins the Grimm Alice Showdown. Right now we have the Grimm Cluster is up 1 point to the Alice Cluster's 0 point. Who will reign supreme? Let's find out. So this week I'm going to start off with the Alice Cluster and then move to the Grimm Cluster, and we'll probably alternate every other week. Let's get started with the 7 Kings of the Lands. Alright, so Trained Trader of Shangri-La is the first card, and we're going to flip through these pretty quickly. I'm going to linger on them one at a time, so you can read them if you'd like to. But for the sake of brevity, I'm going to go over them pretty quick. I actually like Alice's Little Scout, probably the best card in the pack so far. Oh, nope, never mind. We got a fucking Gwyber. This is actually one of the best cards in the entire game. Gwyber's a fantastic card. He's basically a 1200 with flying for nothing. So Gwyber is definitely the forerunner of this pack. We have a rare. It is a Regalia, 0 cost Regalia, but I don't think it's as good as Gwyber. So sorry, Maribella, or Maribel. Not as good as Gwyber. Still a sweet card though. Light Magic Stone, and then we have a foil. It is a rare, Shangri-La, the Paradise of the Ocean, but once again, it's really hard to get better than Gwyber. Gwyber is a fantastic card, so yep, Gwyber is the winner of this pack. Next is the Twilight Wanderer. Good old fruit basket. Got this Dormouse. I think this card's alright. It's not super great, but, you know, it's alright. And of course, if we don't see any, immediate cards, powerful cards after we go through the entire pack, we will go through and, pick out the best one of the bunch. And there we go. Guinevere, the Jealous Queen. She is a fantastic card. Easily the best card in this pack. Once again, probably one of the best cards in Force of Will. Light Magic Stone, and then we have a foil Shadow Assassin. Nope, Guinevere is easily the winner of this pack. And, could contest Gwyber as one of the best cards that we get today. So let's see what we get in the rest of the packs. Next up we have the Moonlit Savior. The first 2 packs have been pretty good. Alright, so Seal of Wind and Light is a fantastic card. That is definitely the forerunner. I'm just going to set it to the side as we flip through the remainder of the pack. It's not over yet. I mean, Demon Flame is pretty good, but I would say Seal of Wind and Light is better. We have this guy who looks like Knight Artorias from Dark Souls. Our rare is Foment of the World Tree. It's an okay card, but not as, renowned and played as much as Seal of Wind and Light. So that is the... Whoa! We got a Ruler. So now we have a pretty hard choice to make. So we have a Ruler, and we also have this foil common. So the picks between this pack are Gil Lapis, the Primogenitor, and let's take a look at his other side. Conqueror of the Black Moon, Gil Lapis. It's pretty good. He's actually a pretty good sideboard tech these days for Wanderer because it says your opponent plays 1 more to play Regalia's activate abilities. So it's more difficult to go off with that Wombo combo with the Cheshire Cat's assistance and all that stuff. So there's that. This does have some, like I said, some sideboard potential. But Seal of Wind and Light is just so powerful, and it's in every deck. I have a bunch of Wanderer decks. I have at least 5 Wanderer decks sleeved up, and I swear this is in at least 3 of them. So I'm probably going to go with Seal of Wind and Light. I'm sorry, Gil Lapis, even though he is a J-Ruler, even though he is actually pretty relevant in Wanderer right now, I still think Seal of Wind and Light is the better card. So yeah, we're going to go with this one. Alright, last up for the Alice Cluster, we have Battle for Attoractia. The first 3 packs have been incredibly strong. Grimm Cluster's got its work cut out for it. Messenger Familiar's a decent card. I'm going to set that aside as the forerunner so far for this pack. Maybe there's going to be another thing that jumps straight out. I like Surto, or Volga, true successor of Surto. True successor of Surto Volga. Jeez, man. Get the order right. I'm going to say that is the strongest card in the pack so far. We have Darkness Magic Stone, and then a foil Black Moonbeam. Sorry, Volga. You can go suck it. Black Moonbeam is easily the pick here. Fantastic card. Single-handedly keeps at bay a plethora of powerful J-Rulers. So, yeah, Black Moonbeam, easy pick. So, for the first up, for the Grimm Cluster, we have Crimson Moon's Fairy Tale. Also the very first set legal in Wanderer. And the showing so far for the Alice Cluster has been very, very strong. These are all like top tier cards. So let's see if the Grimm Cluster has any to contend with. Oh, Rub with the Fire Rat. This one is actually like decent for a little while. It prevents damage that a Fire Resonator would deal. And then there are other cards that you can use to like change that into something else. Ooh, Absolute Cake Zone is easily the forerunner. Right now we have a Hunter in Black Forest, which is another pretty good card. Dream of Juliet, another pretty good card. I mentioned this in the first video, but it can flicker a dude. It can also destroy an addition, which is good to note, and it can just draw a card. So it's an okay card. I actually run 2 of these in my Wanderer Fox deck, but I don't think it's better than Absolute Cake Zone. Night of the New Moon, pretty cool. Oh, dude, I was not expecting this. So we got a double rare pack. Bloody Moon? I don't know, man. Bloody Moon can sit aside. Grimm, the Fairy Tale Prince, is a insane pull. This is actually a very, very good card. I think back in the day, when I first started out, I started with the Moon Priestess Returns. But Grimm, even back then, was worth a couple bucks. He was his own deck, and he still is his own deck in Wanderer. He's a very powerful card. I think Cake Zone is good, but Grimm has got to be better. So we're going to go with Grimm for this one. Very, very apt to start off the Grimm Cluster with Grimm. Next up, we have one of the most expensive boosters in Wanderer. We have the Castle of Heaven and the 2 Towers. That's because this set has the Booty Cat in it. So let's see if we can pull a Booty Cat. Jump to the sky. Daddy Mac can make you jump, jump. Okay, I'm done. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. We have a Wolf in the Sky, Ebony Devil, which is the winner of the last pack. So we're gonna, of the last episode. So we're gonna see if that's gonna be the best card this time around. We have Oz, the Great Wizard, Magic Stone of Light, and the rare is, okay, this is an interesting rare, Dreams of Wonderland. So it says, reveal the top card of your main deck. If its total cost is odd, return target Resonator to its owner's hand, otherwise draw a card. This is kind of a cool card. It was played a lot back in the day. I'm probably going to say this one's better than Ebony Devil. Ebony Devil is good. Don't get me wrong, she's a 500/500 for 1 darkness, but I also kind of feel bad having Ebony Devil win the Castle of Heaven and 2 Towers booster pack like twice in a row. And, you know, to be fair, Dreams of Wonderland is a pretty good card, and it did see some play, and it could still see some play in decks here and there. So I'm going to go with Dreams of Wonderland for this, but, you know, I could be wrong. Ebony Devil could be actually better. So, yeah. Next up, we have the Moon Priestess Returns. Got this Rose Bird, whatever the hell that is. Is this a Cthulhu? That's a fantasy. Open Sesame. It literally is Open Sesame. Art of Sinbad, Black Goat. So our rare is Jinn, the Spirit of the Lamp, which is, he's okay. He lets you flicker 3 dudes when you come into play. We have a Magic Stone of Wind. This dude from Persona, Kai the Frozen Heart, not actually from Persona. And then we have Yang, Mage of Decrescent. Man, this pack wasn't great. So let's see. Do we have anything at all? I'm gonna say Jinn is probably the best card in the set, or in the pack. So he's a 1,000/1,000 for 2 of any and 2 wind. He's an enter effect. Remove 3 target Resonators you control from the game. At end of turn, put all Resonators removed this way into their owner's field. So basically, it lets you remove 3 dudes from the game that you control, and then have them all come back into play. And you can do some pretty cool plays with that, bringing back in your Captain Hooks or your Chimeras or something like that. So I'm gonna say Jinn is the best card in here for some potential synergy with decks that are actually played these days. You know, like your Lumia Hooks or your Nine-Tailed Fox. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Jinn. Let me know if you think there's a better card in here. But yeah, I think he's the best one. And last but probably least, we have the Millennium Ages. Let's do it. Starting out with Duet of Light, which is, it's an okay card. We're gonna flip through. Wormhole is kind of a cool card too. So I think it's maybe the best one so far. We shall see though. There's some actually decent cards in this set. We have a foil uncommon, Hazard the Dark Forest Augur. He can't be targeted by spells or effects. At the beginning of your main phase, this card deals 200 damage to target player or Resonator. So he just kind of pings you dude every single turn. But other than that, he's not super great. We have Melfi, the successor of Sacred Wind. I think Melfi's actually really good. I have a 4 of her in my Wanderer Elves deck. And just for that alone, I'm gonna say it's better than the Wormhole. We also have the Tiny Mephistopheles and another fucking Hazard. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Melfi as the best card in the set, or best card in this pack. She's a 400 for 100 for 2. Rest 2 recovered elves you control, produce 1 will of any attribute. And it's pretty good in like a turbo style deck or a turbo style elf deck where you can just pump out tons and tons of elves. And then on the next turn, do a sprint to the beast lady or whatever it's called to give all your dudes plus 600 and smash for the win. Yeah, pretty good. Alright guys, so which of these is the absolute best card out of them? This is going to be pretty hard, so I'm going to take out the obvious no's. So these are obviously no, not the best card. And we are left with 5 really powerful cards. Grimm is his own deck in Wanderer. It's actually a very powerful deck. I'm probably going to take away this card. It is very good, but I don't think it's quite as meta-defining or as impactful as these other cards. It's just a very, very solid cancel spell. And if this card didn't exist, people would just run a different cancel spell. So we'll get rid of this one, though it is very good. And then now we're down to these 4. Alright, so after some thinking, I've decided to cut Black Moonbeam. It's only good against specific strategies. It's not good against everyone. So it's got that, I mean, it's worthless against Grimm, for example. So I'm going to cut Black Moonbeam. It is very, very good. This is very close. I mean, I could easily see you saying Black Moonbeam is the best of these because it, can single-handedly put certain deck strategies at bay. But on the other hand, it does nothing against other strategies. It's a very, very, polar card. It's super good against some decks and absolutely worthless against other decks. The definition of a sideboard card, though people do main deck this one. Alright, so now we're down to these 3. And once again, man, it's going to be very hard for me to pick. Okay, so I'm going to go with Guinevere. And here is why. I think Guiber is incredibly powerful, and so is Grimm. However, Guiber has cards that are very similar like him. So these got Titania and Drag, which are very, very close to Guiber. I wouldn't say they're replacements, but they're very similar, and it's almost like not as unique as Guinevere. Guinevere is a very unique card. She's very powerful, and she's kind of like a one-of-a-kind type deal, a one-drop that lets you, filter through your hand and draw stuff. She's good in Reanimator strategies, good in just any burn deck, good in, like, everything. Guinevere is a fantastic card. And I'm choosing her over Grimm simply because he is a ruler, but he's only in one specific ruler strategy. It's the Grimm strategy. And I think Guinevere overall, just in the terms of Force of Will as a whole, stands as a better card and a card that is used a lot more. But once again, man, I would not blame you at all for picking any one of these. So Guinevere is the winner of this episode. 1 point to the Alice cluster. We have tied it up. Grimm 1, Alice 1. Which cluster will overtake the lead in the next episode? Stay tuned and check it out every Saturday at 5 a.m. Pacific. Have a good one all, and I hope to catch you next time.